We live in a world that constantly tells us we need more. More money, more possessions, more success, to be happy. For many, it feels like an endless race to try to fill a void with things outside of ourselves. But why, despite everything we chase, does happiness always seem just out of reach? For some of us, the struggle is even deeper. We're still fighting to meet basic needs. Yet, even when we finally get the things we think will make us happy, that feeling often fades. And the cycle begins again. Whether it's money, possessions, or achievements, we've been conditioned to believe that happiness lies in what we can acquire or accomplish. But the truth is, lasting happiness doesn't come from these things. From the time we're young, we're bombarded with messages that tell us happiness is something we can buy, an achievement that can be made if we just spend more, work harder, try harder. Whether it's a new car, a bigger house, or the latest tech gadget, we're taught that success and fulfillment come from having more. Advertisers spend billions of dollars crafting the perfect message to convince us that the answer to our problems lies in the next purchase. But here's the truth. The happiness we get from material things doesn't last. Psychologists call it the hedonic treadmill. It's the idea that no matter what we achieve or buy, we quickly return to our baseline level of happiness, always wanting more. You get that new phone, it feels great for a few weeks, but soon enough, you're back to wanting the next upgrade. It's a cycle that never ends. This cycle is no accident. It's built into the fabric of modern consumerism. In a capitalist economy, companies are motivated by one thing: profit. To keep growing, they need to keep selling us more. So they create a need, convincing us that we're not enough as we are, that we'll only be complete once we buy the next thing. And it's not just about products. Capitalism drives competition, which makes us believe that our worth is tied to external success, like the job title, the big house, or the luxury lifestyle. The system thrives on making us feel like we're always lacking, always needing to strive for more. But the reality is, this constant pursuit of more leaves many people feeling empty. Studies show that once our basic needs are met, more money doesn't equate to more happiness. Yet, we keep striving for it, thinking it will bring fulfillment. Social media has taken this cycle of consumerism to a whole new level. It's not just companies telling us we need more. Now, we're seeing it every day in our social feeds. Everyone seems to be living their best life, traveling to exotic destinations, buying expensive things, looking flawless. But what we forget is that social media is a highlight reel, not reality. We compare ourselves to these unrealistic standards, and it leaves us feeling like we're not good enough. It feeds into the belief that if we just had what they had, we'd be happy. But in reality, it's a carefully curated illusion designed to sell us an idea of happiness that's based on external things. So what happens when we buy into this idea? We buy the thing we've been craving, and at first, it feels amazing. We get a dopamine hit, a rush of pleasure and satisfaction. But that feeling fades. The newness wears off, and soon we're looking for the next thing to bring back that high. This is what psychologists refer to as hedonic adaptation. It's the reason why, no matter how much we buy or achieve, we're always looking for the next thing. It's a never-ending chase for a happiness that's always just out of reach. And here's where it gets tricky, because the happiness from material things is so short-lived, we're constantly looking for ways to recapture it. But the more we chase external happiness, the more we overlook what truly brings lasting fulfillment. Here's the part we often miss: true happiness doesn't come from something outside of us. No material thing, no job title, no amount of wealth can give us lasting contentment. It comes from within, through living a life that's aligned with our values, nurturing meaningful relationships, and finding purpose in how we contribute to the world. Think about the moments in your life that have brought you the most happiness. They're probably not tied to the latest thing you bought, but rather to experiences, like spending time with family, connecting with others, and finding ways to serve. When we contribute to something greater than ourselves, it brings a sense of purpose and fulfillment that no material item ever could. We are often deceived by the systems we live in: consumerism, capitalism, and social media, all designed to make us believe that happiness is something we can purchase or earn through external success. But real, long-term happiness comes from living a life aligned with your highest purpose. It's in how we give, how we connect, and how we live true to who we really are. So, what does lead to lasting happiness? It's not about what we own, but how we live. Studies consistently show that the things that bring long-term happiness are not material possessions, but experiences and connections that fulfill us on a deeper level. Here are a few ways we can start finding real, lasting happiness. Practice self-awareness. Practicing self-awareness means taking a step back from the noise of daily life and understanding our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. It's about asking ourselves questions like, what really brings me joy? What are my values? What am I striving for, and is it aligned with who I truly am? Self-awareness helps us recognize whether we're pursuing things out of habit, societal pressure, or genuine desire. It allows us to identify patterns in our lives that are keeping us stuck in the cycle of short-term gratification and encourages us to focus on what really matters. By knowing ourselves better, we can make decisions that lead to lasting fulfillment, rather than chasing temporary pleasures. Create meaningful relationships. Studies show that strong social connections are one of the biggest predictors of long-term happiness. It's not about how many friends you have or how popular you are, it's about cultivating deep, meaningful relationships with people who truly support you. Live life aligned with your purpose. Find something that gives your life meaning. It could be a career, a hobby, or even volunteering for a cause that resonates with you. Having a sense of purpose gives us a reason to get up in the morning and makes life feel more fulfilling. Practicing gratitude for what you have right now, at this very moment. Gratitude helps us shift our focus from what's missing to what's already present. By appreciating the simple things, our health, our loved ones, the small joys in everyday life, we can find contentment without needing to chase after more. It's time we redefine what success looks like. Success isn't about the number in your bank account or the things you own. It's about living a life that feels fulfilling, one where we focus on purpose, connection, and gratitude, instead of constantly chasing the next big thing. Instead of asking what can I get, start asking how can I live? Because true happiness doesn't come from what you have, it comes from how you live. And that's something no amount of money can buy. If you're ready to break free from the cycle of